internet! Today I wanted to talk about my TBR for the next round of Tome Topple Readathon. The Tome Topple Readathon is a readathon hosted by Sam over at Thoughts on Tomes, and I'm going to link her announcement video in the description, but it is a 2-week readathon that takes place this round, August 4th through the 17th, and really the only rule is that you have to read books that are over 500 pages. There are 5 reading challenges, so I will go ahead and say what those are in case you don't know. I'm not going to have books for all of them, but I'll let you know which ones I'm going to actually do in a second. But the first challenge is to read more than one tome. The second one is to read a graphic novel. Now it has to be a graphic novel that's over 500 pages and it can't be like a collection of comics or something. Kind of like you also aren't allowed to read like a collection of short stories for this, it doesn't count. The third challenge is to read a tome that's part of a series. The fourth one is to buddy read a tome, and the fifth one is to read an adult novel. So I have 3, possibly 4 books on my TBR. I am going to use the challenges of read more than one tome, read a tome that's part of a series, and read an adult novel. I don't have plans to buddy read a tome, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. If any of you are going to be reading one of these books during Tome Topple, I'm not opposed to that, so you can just let me know in the comments, but I'm going to let you know what's on my TBR for the week. The first book on my TBR for the week is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling, and I put this on my TBR because this is in my top 10 to read in 2017 list, and I haven't gotten to it yet. And it clocks in, I think, just over 500 pages. 503. So it just barely counts for this, but it's an adult novel, so it works for that challenge. And I really need to read this, so I think it'll be a perfect opportunity to do that. Another book on my list that is also on my top 10 to read in 2017 list is Gemini by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This one works for the challenge of read a book that's part of a series because this is the second book in the Illuminae files, and it's been on several monthly TBRs and I just haven't gotten to it yet, but this will be really great for a readathon because even though it's super long, it's told in a multimedia format, so it's going to be really great for that. And it clocks in at 659 pages. Now I've got a couple more books here. They're both YA because sometimes when I'm reading an adult book I need to kind of read some YA in between. And even though Gemini's YA, since it's in such a weird format, I wanted to have at least one like regular YA book on this list. But I can't decide between the two, so I might try to read them both, or I might just read one. I haven't really decided yet, but the 2 books that I'm trying to decide between are Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab and The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. Our Dark Duet I really wanted to read in July, and I know I'm not going to get to it. I'm in the midst of BOOKTUBE-athon right now. It's not on my BOOKTUBE-athon TBR, and I just know I'm not going to get to it this month, so I would really, really like to read this as soon as I can. It's the second book in the Monsters of Verity duology, and it clocks in at 510 pages. It's a fantasy. I think it would be a really good one for the readathon because the first book was a pretty quick read even though it was big, so I think I could read this one pretty quickly as well. But with that being said, everyone is reading The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue right now, and it's making me really want to read it, especially considering the fact that it's historical fiction. And I finally joined the craze and I'm obsessed with Hamilton. And even though that's completely unrelated, listening to Hamilton constantly has been putting me in a huge historical fiction mood, and this is historical fiction. And the fact that everybody else has been reading it and was saying such great things about it, it's kind of making me want to read it too. So I might pick this one. I don't really know. It clocks in at 513 pages, so it would also be really good for a readathon. I don't know. I might try to read them both. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm just going to pick up whichever one I'm in the mood for in the moment, but I wanted to have options. So do I think I'm going to be able to read 4 books in 2 weeks? When they're all tomes? Probably not, but when have I never been ambitious with a readathon TBR, let's be honest. Anyway, let me know down in the comments if you're going to participate in Tome Topple and what you want to read, and that'll be it for this video, and I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!